What's going on out there, everybody? I am the Movie Phantom, and this is another edition of the Movie Phantom's Horror Review. Well, as you know, we usually record these on the weekend, so you get them a little bit late, but I'm going to go ahead and throw out there the Happy Easter to everybody out there. Yes, Zombie Jesus would be proud. Keeping it in there. Now, we got two movies tonight for you guys. First one, it was the challenge laid out by Get Up and Kill. Pumpkinhead II, Blood Wings. Don't have a DVD of it, so I can't, flash it right here. Yeah, hey, you'll know if I own it or not. If I flash it, I have it, and if I don't, I don't. But then the other one is the movie that's the movie that he said was like the scariest movie he ever saw. So I figured, what better way to compliment that than with The Ring, the scariest movie I ever saw. So, bam, there it is. So that's going to be on tonight's show right there. So, yeah, how you guys doing? I'm doing good. Let's get to the question of the week, shall we? Now, last week I asked, what is your favorite Stephen King adaptation? Favorite Stephen King film, whatever. And I actually got quite a few responses from one guy. He literally, he hit me up with like 3 different titles, which I think, don't get me wrong, that's great, that's good stuff. Andy Eggleston, one of the Facebook Phantom friends right there, threw out, first he threw out, I believe it was The Running Man he threw out first, which I'm a huge fan of. Not a horror movie, it is a Stephen King story, Richard Bachman, if you will. But, oh yeah, it's great. It's like Arnold at his best almost, I mean, with the exception of Predator, because Predator is just like the badass movie. In fact, I'd put like Predator first, then Terminator, and then The Running Man. And I'm not even like joking, that's like easily my number 3. It's brilliant. But then he threw out The Mist, which is, fucking awesome. And then, yeah, Dreamcatcher. So yeah, he hit all 3 of them. So I'm not sure which one's actually his favorite. But hey, whatever. It's all good. In fact, he even asked me, he goes, what I think about The Mist. And I thought it was great. I mean, like, I read the book a long time ago. Now, I'm not one of those guys who's like, well, I clearly like the book better. No, I rarely like the book better. Like, I'm more of a movie guy. That's just all there is to it. And it's not like, I love to read. I mean, if you ever been, like, I got like the DVD library. But then I have my regular, got my books, I like to read. I have it, and I'm a big fan of horror books, H.P. Lovecraft, Clive Barker, and, Stephen King. And, yeah, I read the Mist a long time ago. Thought it was really good. Dude, the movie, fucking awesome. And I won't say nothing. I mean, it's a newer movie. Dude, the ending's fucking brilliant. That's all there is to it. CGI's a little horrible in this movie, I ain't gonna lie. Very cartoony looking CGI. However, I have always said that, like, as long as it has a good story and the rest of the movie's good, I will let CGI slide. This is one of the best examples here. Horrible CGI, damn good movie. Thomas Jane, he knocks it out of the park. He really does. So this week, I figured, since I'm busting out, the remake, we would go ahead and the question would be, what is your favorite horror remake? Now, normally, whenever I give these questions, usually it's the movie that I'm, going to review. However, The Ring is not my favorite horror remake. We've already did it, actually. The Thing. That's my favorite horror remake right there. Of course, it was a remake of A Thing from Another World. So, yeah, that's it. So, that's the question. What is your favorite horror remake? And, yeah, you know how to do it. The Phantom Friends, just comment on the Facebook page. Everybody else, down below, just leave a little comment. And, or you can email me at moviephantom7@gmail.com. So, hey, every time I say Gmail, I swear it sounds like I'm saying shemail. So, I don't know. So if you've been typing in like moviephantom7@gmail.com, I haven't been getting them, I ain't gonna lie. So just so you know, it's Gmail. So, bam, there it is. One thing I noticed about remakes is, because typically I usually hate them, but I noticed that with The Ring and The Grudge, that usually whenever I see the remake movie first and then see the original, I tend to like the remake better, almost. I think it's just like whatever you see first. And I noticed that, like, whenever they do remake a movie, I've already seen the first one. So then when I see the remake, I'm like, well, that's not as good, So I think that's going to come back to whatever movie you've seen first, typically I think you're going to end up liking that better. And I always recommend see the original first. Now, of course, with this one, I don't usually see the foreign films first because, they are foreign and I don't quite get around to them at the time, but boom, and there it is. So, all right. You know what? As far as news goes, not a whole lot going on. It's been a bad couple of weeks for some horror movie news. And in fact, I'm going to just kind of change it, I think, from news to just remake alert, because that's what the news has been lately. Because yes, there is another remake coming out. I believe it was 1984 when the first one came out. Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's about the killer, psychotic, psychopath who dressed up as Santa Claus. Starts hacking people up down the block. Santa's coming over your face with a machete or an axe or what the hell it was. I never seen it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to sound like a poser, but just never got a chance to get around to it. I will now that the remake's coming out. I'll go ahead and watch. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them all together, so there's a whole series of them. And I hear they just get worse, as they go on. But that's, usually true about any, horror series. But yeah, they're making a remake, and I think they're shortening it up to just Silent Night. I don't think it's going to be the whole, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Just Silent Night. I think that's all they're going to say. But Malcolm McDowell's going to be in it, which for all the old school fans will know him from, Clockwork Orange, Caligula, if you will. Of course, the new guys know him from Halloween. He played Dr. Loomis and Rob Zombie's, version of Halloween. Good actor. Great actor. So yeah, I hope that he brings something to it. I've seen like low budget, like straight to video movies with Malcolm McDowell, and he's usually pretty good, but he's not the most discerning actor. Like he'll do anything. He's like a Carradine, for Christ's sake. And that's not a slam against the Carradines, but they do a lot of crap. Like whenever Kill Bill came out, was that John Carradine, Keith Carradine, David Carradine? It's David Carradine. Everybody's like, oh, he's good. He's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. But then, like, you'd seen in everything else, and I don't mean everything else like mainstream. It's like straight to video shit he was doing. But it always said, Kill Bill's, David Carradine. And I thought that was just kind of like, I don't know. Like, whenever I seen that name, I'm like, if Quentin's not directing, I'm not watching. That's all there is to it. I have a movie. It's in the shelf over there called Autumn. Yeah. And sure enough, it has, Kill Bill's David Carradine. He had like a small part in it. And he does it all right, but the movie was just shit. Like, it was ambitious. Like, it tried to be bigger than it was. It tried to be bigger than the budget. It fell flat. And I don't know. If you're a big Carradine fan, I guess, check it out. But I'm saying stay away. Now, there's a thing I literally, like, my thing is, I get up here, I get in front of the camera, and I just start going, and I forget shit. Like, I leave shit out a lot. Like, Get Up and Kill. He told me once, he goes, when you talk about The Exorcist, you left out the entire, like, Exorcist curse. And I won't get on that right now, because I got another curse I'm going to talk about. But, yeah, like, I just kind of get up here, ramble, and start running my mouth, and then I do leave shit out a lot. And I'm glad you guys are catching me on that. Don't get me wrong, I am glad. The one that, I just kind of came across the other day. Like, I'm skimming through, doing my thing. And this person, like, wrote an article, but they didn't, like, add anything new to it. They were just kind of going back, and they're like, is there really a Poltergeist Curse? And, so I started reading it, and it was all stuff I already knew, but I can't believe, like, I forgot about it when I was doing the, Poltergeist review. As you know, the 2 girls, the daughters, are both dead. Like, the oldest one, she was, like, strangled 2 months after the movie came out by, like, her boyfriend. Just, took her down. And then the little girl, I think she died after part 2, I think. I could get my facts wrong. Once again, the Phantom's not really the best when it comes to research. Because I just kind of, I skim and then I go. But, of course, I guess there was always problems on the set and everything. But the one thing that I couldn't believe I forgot, like, I've read this a long time ago. Then when I watched the movie, I didn't think anything about it. Skipped it, whatever. The scene where the mother, like, falls into the pool, and it's not even like a pool, it's like a giant hole in the ground that fills up with rainwater. Like, it's not, like, no concrete, it's a dirt hole, and then it's like muddy water. And when she falls into it, like, all these dead skeletons and bodies come up, right? I read this before, so I mean, I don't know. It may not be true, but once again, I've read it like 2 or 3 different places. Apparently, real skeletons. Yeah, I'm not even making this up. I read this. I'm saying hit IMDb after this if you want. Do some research yourself. But apparently, I guess at the time they made this, like, real skeletons were cheaper. And that's what the excuse they used. They were cheaper than, fake skeletons. I don't know how you go about getting real skeletons. But I guess they didn't tell her. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna lie. If I was the director and I was like, I'm gonna throw in the water with some real skeletons, I ain't saying shit until afterwards. And that's what they did. And it was smart, I think. Because, yeah, she wouldn't jump in there. I ain't gonna lie, I probably wouldn't either. Actually, I'd be like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not going to swim with some real skeletons. Hard to tell what kind of bacteria is on that. Because they probably all die. I mean, I'm guessing like you get real skeletons, you get them from like third world countries. Like I couldn't imagine like, you know, there's an outlet here in America that's just like, here's some real skeletons. No, I mean, you're clearly going to the black market somewhere and just, you know, and they're getting them and they're not, you know, boom. And odds are, you know, they died of like some kind of weird disease or something like that, and I don't want no part of that. But I thought that was crazy. They said like they believe that is what started the curse. Like the spirits of the dead skeletons or whatever is what kickstarted the whole curse. Now I went through the list. I'm not going through the whole thing right now, but they kept talking about how like, you know, I guess they're having production problems. And of course the deaths, 2 deaths. But I don't know, curse really. Like I think The Exorcist and even The Omen to a certain extent was more cursed than the Poltergeist series. That's just me. But I like to know what you're thinking. You know, once again, I am always up for feedback, some conversation with my public. So yeah, if you got anything to add to the Poltergeist, or hell, fuck it, Exorcist or Omen or any kind of movie curse at all, you know, throw them my way. Once again, I already told you how to contact me, so we'll do it like that. So yeah. But yeah, curse, I don't think it's cursed. I mean, 2 deaths. I mean, don't get me wrong. People, like, I forget what the statistic is, but it's like every like 8-10 seconds, someone gets killed. Like, someone dies in the world. Maybe even less than that. Like, right now as we're talking, like, as we're doing the show, people are just getting wiped out, you know. Coincidence that, yes, 2 of them were on the same movie together, but it's not impossible, you know. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, I don't think it's a curse, but, you know, hey, who knows. Now, this week, opening it up, that's how I shift gears. Like, I throw a hesitation, like a little pause in there, and then I just kind of try to stumble through it, and I pick it back up, and, you know, hey, I'm gonna hit a home run. Don't worry about that. I'm gonna hit a home run for you guys. No, this week, opening up in theaters, and this is a wide release too, The Cabin in the Woods. And this is the one that I want to see this month. Like, this is the big one. This is the one that I think is going to be just fucking awesome right here. Now, the story is, it's kind of shrouded. Like, I kind of got an idea of what it could be, maybe. But once again, I don't have any, like, you know, concrete, you know, clue. I mean, I don't really tell you anything in the trailers. But, like, you know, these friends go to a cabin in the woods. And, yeah, there's some kind of weird secret behind her. There's some weird shit going on. Yeah, it just looks really like, I don't know, kind of like a sci-fi twist to it. It's like, I mean, once again, this ain't giving nothing away because I haven't seen it. This is all in the trailer. You can go watch it yourself right now. Like, they get into the house or the cabin, and then, like, you just cut to the scene like there's birds flying. Of course, like, the gas station attendant's just like, they're here or whatever, and they throw the grid up, and dude, the bird's flying, and he hits like this invisible grid, and, you know, just dies right there. So it's like they're being watched inside this cabin. And then I guess they released like monsters or zombies or whatever the fuck's going on. I don't know what's going on beyond that. It looks crazy, I ain't gonna lie. And it had Marilyn Manson's cover of I Put a Spell on You during the trailer. I'm a huge Manson fan, so I ain't gonna lie. Right? I was already sold. Like, as soon as I heard those drums, I was like, you know what, fuck it. I don't care what it is now, I'll watch it. It worked. The marketing for this movie has worked. So yeah, definitely, you know, I recommend it. Check it out. I definitely will. So actually, I saw a new movie recently. Actually, there's a new addition to the Phantom family. My uncle, I guess, you know, Uncle Phantom, got married recently. You know, she has some kids. Well, the oldest kid, you know, I guess he's like my new step cousin. I guess you can call that. I don't know how it works. Anyways, he knows I like horror movies, so he brought me like this DVD. He's like, here, you want to borrow this? I'm like, yeah, sure, let me check it out. And the DVD was like 4 like backwoods butcher movies. What's called the Backwoods Butcher movie collection or whatever. And they're, you know, 4 low budget kind of movies, you know. And I was like, oh, I'll check it out, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I had no faith in these movies whatsoever. Like, this looks like complete shit. I can't tell him that though. He's a kid, you know. He'll cry and, you know, whatever. But, you know, I'm watching them. And I won't lie to him when I see him. I won't be so harsh about it. But, you know, I'll blame him because I am a critical dick. But, man, time flies, I swear. But, yeah, no. So, the movie I watched was Breadcrumbs. And, I better go and take it. I better go ahead and we'll come right back. You ain't going nowhere anymore. I mean, yeah. Got tongue-tied there for a second. All right, let's do it. We'll come right back.